So I'm going to start with a recent story, a personal story of how I ended up using or experiencing the way Google understands topics. So it started 1 month ago when I was on my way to climb Mont Blanc. I was one day from reaching the top, just starting to rest and regain the energies that I needed, because at 2 a.m. next day I had to start the final ascent. And it was about 5 p.m. when my wife called me and told me that she's going to give birth to our baby girl. So when I heard that, of course, I started to pack my stuff and to run down and get back home as fast as I could. So I had to run to catch this tram. There's a tram going to about 2,000 meters altitude. So I had to catch the last one in that day. I managed to do that, and while I was on the tram, I started to look for a flight. So I was going back to Chamonix, where all the adventures started, and the nearest airport to Chamonix was Geneva. But all the flights from Geneva to Bucharest were not really good options for me, because the earliest I could get was about 4 p.m. next day, so almost 24 hours from the moment I received the call. So I zoomed out and I saw that I also have Milano and Torino at about 300 kilometers away. So I started to research. Of course, I went to Google and I started to look for some options to get from Chamonix to Milan, as this would have been the next challenge. So even if they have this lovely widget that was telling me if you want to depart at 10 p.m. from Chamonix to Milan, the next bus is going to be at 8 a.m. next day. So obviously not an option for me. I started to look forward and to find alternatives. So I scrolled down and I saw the organic results. I was looking for some advice from Google, and none of these helped me solve my challenge. So I started to look naturally for different queries to search for train from Chamonix to Milan. And even if I changed the wording, I got the same result. And then bus from Chamonix to Milan, the same results. Then coach from Chamonix to Milan, the same 4 or 5 results. And many others. So I couldn't escape the same information sources. Google just was just giving me for anything that I was searching for. So actually what we can understand from this is Google understood my intent and he tried to give me his best options, even if I was just a bit annoyed about the same information because I was just trying to find more sources of information. To cut the story, I convinced a driver to spend his night and to drive me to Milano. But then I started to look back at my experience, and I was just thinking, it's been a while. We're preaching over and over again about topics over keywords. We already use the holistic page approach, and we know it works, and we have lots of tools for technical, the technical part of implementing the topic. But when it comes to research and thinking in topics, we're not doing that. We're still hooked by the old keywords, and it makes sense. But let's just take this conclusion, right? So if we look at what happened in my experience that I just shared with you, that's a very important behavior to be noticed by SEO, because what it says is that if you're not ranking for the entire topic, you're not going to rank for any individual keyword. So if we're not thinking in topics and we look at keywords, we're missing a lot. So let's take another example. Let's search for best time to book flights. So if we look at at this keyword, it has a search volume of 1,000. So it's 1,000 searches per month for this particular keyword, best time to book flights. But if we look at the entire topic, what we see is that we have about 100 keywords that have more than 50 searches per month. So they are relevant in a way, and that sum up about 22,000 searches per month. So from 1,000 to 22,000, there's a big difference in how we look at these particular keywords. Because if we happen to rank for best time to book flights, what's going to happen is that if we will rank for all of the keywords, right? So we can see here that it's either you rank #1 and you rank for all of them, or you don't rank #1 and you don't rank for all of them. So it's a very clear correlation. So going further, my belief is that we didn't shift our mindset from keywords to topics yet, and there's a good reason for that. We have to spend hours brainstorming and using different tools to do a relevant research, and we have lots of campaigns and lots of topics to research, and we need at least the keyword planner and Uber Suggest or an alternative and SEMrush and tools like that in order to do it. And it's like preaching to watch out for duplicate content without crawlers. We really need the tools in order to do the switch. So let's say we do it. Let's say we spend those hours, we do the research, we choose our opportunities in terms of topics, not only keywords. And then what do? We have to set some goals and to track progress. But if we look at some of the tools out there, we'll have to pay about $100 to monitor 2 or 3 small or narrow topics. That's not really scalable, and that's going to be expensive at some point. So it's way too expensive, right? We have to spend too much time, too many brain cycles, and too much money in order to really think, research, and measure topics. So we saw this pattern for at least 1 year, and we wanted to take the challenge. And today I'm really excited to introduce you to the Topic Explorer. We believe it's not just another keyword tool. It's something a bit different, and we hope it will help us do this transition from keywords to topics. So let me show you what you can find in it. So you will be able to see how many searches any given topic or niche has, because we can correlate semantically all the keywords that have relevant search volume with a particular topic, for any topic we are searching within the product. Second is that we can see where we stand today, because we have the visibility score and the ranks for each website. Then we can understand who is competing on the same topic, and again, how visible they are. And because we know their technology, we can understand which one is an e-commerce or a blog or a content website. So we'll be able to see the blogs and the publications that are ranking for the topic. And of course, we can see the seasonality of the topic as well. So it will enable us to do the following jobs quite easy: to research and measure topics, not only keywords, to understand where we stand today, to find who is competing. And I think we have what we need to improve our outreach process. So we can search for any topic, as narrow or broad as we want. We can go to something like sport shoes or leather shoes or whatever it is, like a niche or a market. And we can see the keyword list, the total search volume, the competitors, and the visibility score. For those who are not familiar with our visibility score, is a percentage, is a metric for saying that if we have a keyword list and we analyze their ranks and corresponding search volumes, we can get a percentage from 0 to 100, where 0 is where this percentage is like the impression rate on the entire search volume. So how many people from those 600,000 that search for sports shoes in the UK market are seeing your result, your particular website in the search results. And then we have this topical authority, which helps us understand the authority in a different way. It's not about links, it's about how visible a website is for a particular topic, and compared with the others, how big is the gap between them, who's more authoritative than other. Then we can add context. So we can put, for example, our website, which can be sportshoes.com, and we can add more context and say our direct competitor is sportsdirect.com. So I'd like to see only keywords from sports shoes topic where sportsdirect.com is already visible. And I'd like to get rid of cheap and sale terms because we're not going to focus on any discount sale. And I can choose how deep we want the analysis to go, how many keywords we want to get. If we want more keywords, we will get maybe some of them will be a little less relevant than others. And if we want to narrow it down to some really good keywords, we can just drag the slider in the left. And then we can continue our research, adding more competitors. We already order all the competitors by their visibility score on the topic and their topic authority. And we have two buckets here. We put them in the content bucket or the e-commerce bucket. If they are an e-commerce and we know their technology, or if they have a custom platform, we put them in e-commerce because most probably they will be competing with other e-commerces, while when we want to outreach for a specific topic, we would like to be visible on the websites that are already ranking on our particular topic, our targeted topic. Going further, we can look and explore the keywords, right? So we have the sports shoes topic, and because it's a broad topic, we can see keywords like good running trainers. So it's very important to notice that it's not, they are not connected, the keywords are not connected by their wording and the patterns that we see in how the keyword is composed, but just semantically. So they don't necessarily look similar, but they mean the same thing. And of course, if we go to a much narrower topic, we will be able to see something like what we saw earlier with our example with the best time to book flights, where we can see we also have here the cheapest month to fly as a result for the topic. So this will enable us to look at from a helicopter view at the topic instead of focusing on individual keywords. And I think this is what was the industry, our industry needed in order to really switch our mindset from measuring and looking at only at keywords to something like a topic. Because it's really hard to do the research on thinking in topics with what we have right now. So because we just launched it yesterday, we are glad to have it in front of you today, and we'd like to give you a free access. I will remove this slide when I will upload the presentation. So it's important to take the code right now. You will have free access without any limitation at the moment. So take advantage on this product, and I hope it will help you gain a little competitive advantage and optimize your workflows.